2023 of Dokkan Battle. The year where we've had the highest
yeah!
highs and quite low lows. They were very, very bad. So join me as we take a journey and a look back at 2023 Dokkan, what I like to call the year of fumbles. So we start off looking back at the year of fumbles with honestly what I would consider a very strong celebration. The 8th anniversary was that great, and don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. The 8th anniversary was fire. They were fire. They, although not as good as the STR unit, were also fire, especially with their standby skills. They were amazing. They did very well in content. They were definitely better. They were way better than them. But they were both very good in the hard content. 8th anniversary was just amazing all throughout. And it looked like we were going to be in for a Dokkan masterpiece. It looked like we were going to be in for a 2023 Dokkan Battle masterpiece. But as I'm sure you guys are aware, that is not at all what happened. Next we got who was next? I'm looking for. Well, okay, I probably don't have them pulled up, but here it is. So we had the Goku and we had Gohan. And here's where we already start to get into a little bit of controversy. These guys were hated on release. Not because of their kits. Their kits were honestly amazing. I had Goku as definitely a top 5 unit in the game. And Gohan was an easy top 10 contender, right? The problem was, and I guess this was less of a Dokkan problem and more of a Dokkan community problem. We had our heads wrapped around, part 2 is Carnival Kid Buu and Carnival Omega. We'll get to Carnival Omega. I promise you. But everybody got it in their heads that, Carnival Kid Buu, Carnival Omega is part 2. So naturally, it didn't matter what character was coming out in part 2. If it wasn't Kid Buu and Omega, they were going to be hated. And unfortunately, while this was a controversy, I feel like it was a very unfair one. Now, granted, they shouldn't have released during anniversary. I get people's frustrations. These would have been much better as maybe a worldwide LR or something. I don't know. But anniversary, no, I wouldn't have done that. But they were very fine units with very decent animations. Like they were very fine units. I enjoyed them, and I still enjoy them. So I feel like while it was warranted, the hate was a little bit unnecessary, but I promise you, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And we come to the Dokkan Fest after 8th anniversary ends. Android 17 and Hellfighter 17, otherwise known as STR Super 17. This character is very polarizing because it brings with them a common theme for the rest of the year. So, pretty much, I'm not going to go over the entire character, right? They're just mediocre in base. Super 17, it took them way too long to build up. But there was another problem with them. There was another problem. The problem was, at this time, they had no help. Now, granted, the help would have helped, but they were also just designed in a very stupid way. And like, even transformed, they were designed in a very stupid way. But they didn't get their help fast enough. And yeah, they eventually did get their help, but by the time they got it, I mean, we were on to bigger and badder events to the point where it's not even worth running them. Not even worth it. You might as well just throw them off the team. And this is a common theme because, again, we get to, not him, we get to, not them, they are great. Super Boo is kind of another one. But hold on, we have even more. We have Kale. Oh, you thought we were done? We have Turles. Oh, you thought we were done? We have a couple more for you. We have Android 17 and 18. What in the world just happened? Okay, y'all didn't see that. We have Android 17 and 18. Oh, you thought we were done? We have Super Trunks. Oh, you thought we were done? We have Omega Shenron. Now, I will save Omega Shenron for later. There is a special place for him. But you go from Super 17, who needs help, doesn't get it, to Super Boo, weirdly designed, needs help, doesn't get it fast enough. Same thing with SCR Kid Boo in 2021 or 2, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't get his help fast enough. Clock struck 12. Super Trunks, stupidly designed, didn't get his help fast enough. And even when he did, he was just so poorly designed that it didn't help. Why would you restrict him to Android/Cell Saga? And there are almost no good Android/Cell Saga units when he released. And he didn't get his help for a while. Android 17 and 18. My God, they need to be ran with a Goku with Android links. I get it. Tournament of Power. I understand. Why are you running them with a Goku with Android links? Why? And again, they didn't get their Tournament of Power Goku until the next year. Turles. I guess Turles did kind of get his help, actually. I guess he doesn't really fit the mold. But he himself just was not good enough. But I guess he doesn't exactly fit that mold. But I guess he fits a bigger mold of the TURs being so lackluster. The in-between big celebration TURs, Turles, 17 and 18, Trunks. Well, Boo's not a TUR. Super 17, right? They were so poor. Kale. Now, Kale is one that fits the mold of she didn't get her help fast enough, and she got an easy A with her celebration, LR Kale and Caulifla, whom sucked. They were horrible. It was a common theme. Now, we will get to these... Not him. Screw him. Screw him. We will get to these two. These two are a big outlier because they were in a big celebration. All these TURs outside of Boo, all these TURs just being mid to bad and not getting the help they needed until it was way too late. Kale has our help now at STR Kefla, right? But it's too late. She's not that good anymore. Turles, well, I mean, again, Turles, he may have his help, but he just wasn't made good enough. They have their help, but they were made in such a stupid way. He finally got his help, but he's not built well. He got his help, but it's too late. They got their help, but it's too late for them. It's just an ongoing theme for 2023. And unfortunately, the fumbles don't stop there, but I don't want to make it seem like it was all fumbles in 2023. Because as you are going to see next, 2023, again, had very big upsides. So then we get to one of said high points that I mentioned in the intro. We get to Golden Week. Now, Golden Week was amazing, hands down. One of the best Golden Weeks, if not the best Golden Week ever. These are the two outliers of TURs this whole year. These are the two outliers. Goku, 23rd World Tournament Goku, and Piccolo, Jr. They were both incredible, amazing. Unfortunately, now, with, Supreme Battle Spectacle and all that craziness, they've aged. But when they released, like, Jr. was number one. What was Goku? At 2 or 3? It was insane. This is how you do TURs. And I'm glad they've been better with TURs this year, because last year, 2023, it was bad, man. It was bad. This is one of the top just spots all last year. But unfortunately, we have to go back to the negative, because again, we come to more problems. Tanabata. Now, Tanabata's LRs, right? This wasn't as much of a, he never got his help problem. This was a, he was just designed very poorly, and because of that, it led to him aging like milk on a wall. Super Saiyan 4 Goku that transforms into full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4, instant seller, instant classic for all Dokkan and Dragon Ball fans alike. Instantly did numbers, was amazing on release, and to be fair, to his credit, the Omega Shenron fight was designed specifically for him, and he killed it. He killed it, knocked it out of the park. However, by the time we got to Worldwide, this guy was kind of a non-factor. It's unfortunate because the standby with Jr. was great. Although the problem with him, the damage reduction only lasted for 1 turn. So it's like if you weren't ready to transform, they kind of forced you to get ready to transform quickly, because if you didn't, Jr. could potentially start to take damage. And full power was still God. He was still God. The problem was the base form was so weak, and the biggest problem was, to get the most out of his defense, you had to run him slot 1. The problem was, even with this defense, slot 1 was not a viable option for this guy. He could not handle slot 1. Throw him in front of Fusion Zamasu, he would get torched. Throw him to any of them, he would get torched. So, and honestly now, this guy is just an afterthought. Nobody uses him. He's unfortunately gone down as one of the most disappointing Tanabata LRs, at least in my opinion. On release, he was amazing, but didn't have a great shelf life, as opposed to LR Vegeta and Trunks, who were number 1 in the game, better than the 7th Annie LRs. And they held that spot for quite a while. They held that spot until Orange Piccolo and LR Ultimate Gohan came out, right? Like, they held that spot for a long time, a very long time, as opposed to this guy who really, he wasn't even number 1 in the game to start with, and then afterwards really just fell off the face of the earth. But he was good for his time. He definitely was. And I will not sit here and say that he wasn't. The same cannot be said for this loser. No. This absolute loser, Omega Shenron. I'm sorry. I get it. LR Ultimate Gohan just not Beast only being his active skill. Like, I get it. It was terrible. It was terrible. But, like, he was still good. Kind of. And we eventually got another Beast Gohan. We got another one. When do you think we're going to get another LR Omega Shenron, bro? When do you think we're going to get another one? What they did with this guy was criminal. It was criminal. A premium LR. It was criminal what they did to him. he's great. You know, debuff, a rainbow orb change, a damage reduction. Oh, with rainbow key spheres and more damage reduction. Oh, but wait, GT bosses. I'm sure that won't be too bad, right? He has a revive. Now, granted, he didn't hit very hard, but I mean, he had defensive prowess. If you ran a full GT bosses team, do you want me to tell you why that was a problem? Let me enlighten you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me enlighten you. We are in the year 2024, which means, you know, we've had some time to get some new GT bosses characters. Tell me who you are running unironically in 2024 in GT. Screw 2024. Name me who you would even run in 2023. Name me who you would run. Name me. I'll wait. What, you gonna run Ice and Nova? You gonna run Ice and Nova? You gonna run LR Super 17? Legion of the Shadow Dragons, who, if I'm not mistaken, do they have their easy? I think they did get their easy A, but they're still not all that. Right? They're still not all that. I think they got their easy A. They're okay. They're not bad. But, like, headlining units? For, and he needs GT boss. So what's the team? Omega, Super Baby 2, Super 17. I guess them with their easy A. She sucks with her easy A. I guess them with their easy A. Sin? Hyper Meta Rildo? Who do you run? These two guys easy A are okay, but it's like, does this sound like a top tier team to you? Does this sound like a mid tier team to you? They based his kit, his literal survivability around a terrible team whom they have not supported really to this day. August 21st, 2024. They still have not supported this team. And that's where he gets a lot of his damage reduction from. So it's like, take that out. And again, this allows him from being run on any other team. Take that out. He's not that good with 35% damage reduction. And that's if you get 5 rainbow key spheres. That's if you get that. A lot of time, most you're going to get is 4. So he'll have 28% damage reduction. Whoop-de-doo. This was... No. I think he's worse. I think he is worse than LR Ultimate Gohan as far as releases go. I think he's worse. LR Ultimate Gohan, at least, like, he had a bit of a resurgence when Beast came out. Now, the resurgence is probably over by now, but he had a little bit of a resurgence. He had a little bit. This guy has not had a resurgence yet. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know if he's going to get one. Because the team is just that bad. They need an entire celebration centered around GT bosses. They do. I mean, top tier TUR, a part 2 LR, multiple easy A's, a super easy A. Like, they need a lot, man. They need a lot. And unfortunately, it led to this character, a premium unit in a premium celebration, being very bad. So, I mean, we kind of, character-wise, have to call Tanabata an L. In hindsight. Hindsight is 2020, yes. At the time, maybe it wasn't, but in hindsight, it really wasn't that good character-wise. It wasn't. And then I'm just going to get this guy out of the way really quickly. This guy means nothing. So the problem with this guy is just, he was the third base form Goku to release in 5 months. Which is just, like, I don't understand, like, what you were even thinking. Like, you had a base form Goku for part 2 of the 8th anniversary. Then you had a base form Goku for Golden Week. And then you add a base form Goku. Then you add this base form Goku. Now, what really pisses me off about him, number one, it's just pure stupidity to have a third base form Goku that soon. Number two, he brings nothing to the table. He brings nothing to any team. He just sucks. He was good for the Cyberman event. That is it. He's good for the Cyberman event. That is it. So, I mean, I guess this isn't really this doesn't fit in a, oh, he didn't have help, blah, blah, blah. No, it was just stupidity to even release him. It was. But he fits into the fumble theme. And unfortunately, worldwide hits. And, I mean, there's fumbles. The future celebration was very weird. There's fumbles. There's high moments. And we will get right into that. But I'm going to piss off a lot of people with this next one, man. We've reached pretty much the end, boys. We've reached pretty much the end. Part 1 of the worldwide download celebration was Tech Fusion Zamasu and the introduction of the domain, and LR Vegito Blue with the introduction of Dokkan original attacks and animations. In hindsight, now when they dropped, I can't even say. When they dropped, there was still plenty of controversy. There was. Not centering Zamasu as much. People were fine with Zamasu. It was these guys. And unfortunately, time has not been kind to them. Time has actually been very nasty to them. This base form. Now, at the time, I have to give credit where credit's due. The base form, as long as they had their guard up, could actually tank hits. They could. So I have to give them their props. There's a problem. Their guard only lasts for 4 turns. If you are not ready to transform into Vegito by the time that 4th turn is over, your only hope is to throw them in slot 1 and pray to God that they dodge. Because if they don't, they are getting one shot. They are getting one shot. And they can't dodge in any other slot. So you have to run them slot 1. Having to be run slot 1 puts this anchor on a character because they can't tank slot 1 forever. So when it gets to the point they can't tank slot 1, you're going to have to move them out of slot 1. And that makes them even worse defensively. This unit was no different. It was very hard to transform into Vegito when you wanted to. 70% or less HP starting from the 5th turn from character's entry. Not start of battle. Character's entry. You could have gotten them turn 3. Going through blah, blah, blah. All of that. And then maybe you might be ready to transform on the last turn. But oh, your HP is not low enough. Oh, you can't transform. An HP restriction and a horrible turn restriction for 1 active skill is horrible. Now, they do give you another way out. But it's with another Future Saga category ally in the same turn or Future Saga enemy starting from the 7th turn. By that point, the fight's almost over. And it's like, yeah, when you get to Vegito, yeah, he's God. Now, granted, I have gotten killed with Vegito. I have gotten killed. But not very often. Vegito's practically God. He is. Vegito is amazing. Hands down, 10 out of 10. And they have a 10 out of 10 leader skill. And another big controversy for them, their animations were very poor. At least in base. The intro was very poor. And this was something for Zamasu too. His animations were not that great. I don't know why, but they really held back on their animations. For the life of me, I can't understand why. Vegito's was good. But every other animation with this particular card was just, it was poor. It was very, very poor. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say. This is one of the most unfortunate characters ever. And this kind of encapsulated how everybody feels or at least how mostly everybody feels about 2023 Dokkan as a whole. Just one giant fumble because this is the first Vegito Blue we got in years, right? And then they come out like this. They come out and it's like you dang near have to struggle to get to Vegito. You can barely get to him. By the time you get to him, the fight's almost over. This is not what Vegito Blue fans asked for. Vegito Blue fans deserved much, 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 much higher. Much better. And it's just unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And Zamasu was much better. But he brings another can of worms with the domain thing, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, part 1 is just it's a bit of a fumble because of this guy. This is who people were excited for, and they fumbled him. Animations, base form kits, transformation condition, they fumbled, bro. They did. And then you get to the last to part 2. You have Trunks and Gohan. Now, there's a bit of a controversy because it wasn't Goku Black. Instead, it was Future Gohan. That immediately went away when we saw the animations. Future Gohan, I have no quarrel with. Future Gohan is amazing. Still pretty decent, even to this day. But Trunks had controversy as well. Was not made as good as he should have been as a Carnival LR. He barely squeaked into the top 10. Some people straight up didn't have him top 10. It was just... And the animations, my god, the animations weren't very great either. Especially his KO animation. They were very poor. They were very poor animations. Very poor. And it's just like... Worldwide is supposed to be the second biggest event for Dokkan of the year. It's Anniversary, then Worldwide, then I would probably say Tanabata, and then Golden Week. And you guys held back, at least character-wise. You held back on Worldwide very badly. So, I mean, that's all there is to say. I mean, there's one more character in 2023 that I did not go over, and it is, where is she? It's Android 21, but I don't remember when 21 released. Here, right here. Oh, okay, and these guys, I forgot about these guys too. These guys are very good. Unfortunately, they've aged now, but at the time they were like top 3 in the game. They were very good. No problems with them at all. And then 21 was one of the only Dokkan Fest TURs that was made good last year. So, I mean, I guess they ended on a decent note with her and the Super Saiyan Trio. But it's hard to look back at the units that were released, not counting, EZAs and stuff. But you can even count the EZAs. I mean, this EZA was great. But what about LR Gohan and Goten? What about LR Kill and Caulifla? They were very poor. So, I mean, yeah. The EZAs for the EZA for Trunks wasn't great. His EZA was god-awful. Yeah, man. There it is. That is a look back at Dokkan in 2023. I do plan on going through all the years, or well, most of the years. I probably won't do like 2015 or 16, right? Because I didn't play around that time, so I can't really say. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Dokkan, Amatsu, Akatsuki, Bandai, everybody. We cannot have another 2023. There were a lot of highs, but there were a lot of misses. Yeah, we cannot have this again in 2023. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this new video, of this new format I'm doing. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Peace.